Now, the problem that we're trying to solve with struts, we had alluded to a little bit here, which is basically that when Java web applications were first being developed, the issue was that we would initially create servlets, and these servlets would basically just process a request from the client, and the servlets would be Java code that would generate HTML. And if you've ever tried to generate HTML inside of another language, you may have found that it's quite difficult to do and it's quite difficult to maintain because you're piecing things together a little bit at a time so you can't see the bigger picture. So along came this other technology called JSPs. And the JSPs are basically the opposite. So they are basically HTML with some Java snippets inside there. So because the main structure that you're developing is an HTML document, it made sense to do it this way. But the problem with that was that now you had all of this Java intermixed with your HTML, and that got confusing. What you're really just trying to do here is you're trying to get your business logic to be separate from the presentation or that view, that HTML. And either way, using servlets or using JSP, it tended to mix them together. And there's various techniques that people came up with in order to try to separate these out, using helper methods inside of servlets in JSP, using helpers that generated some HTML so that you'd only have a small snippet of Java inside your JSP. But all that was a bit of a mess, and there was no convention or enforcement of that. Everyone did that in different ways. So the big problem here is really that leaking logic. You have your business logic leaking over into your view logic, and so you end up with this big mess. When you try to modify something, you've got your view logic and your business logic all mixed together, and you can't really modify it easily because you can't tease the two apart. You can't see the view as just the view, and you can't just see the business logic as what the heart or the logic of your application is. And if you wanted to swap out the view, well, it's a real mess trying to do that when that code is mixed together.